Hi, my name is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and also proud FENIX Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am thrilled to be speaking with the acclaimed supernatural hard rocker, Chris Q. For more on Chris Q, you can read more about him right below this video, but in the meantime, here is a sneak peek at the incredible talent of the one and only Chris Q.
Want to believe you, I must restrain to deceive you. The illusion is untrue. At a movie, a sneak preview. Too afraid to flaunt it. Don't tell me you don't want it. She's a mythical creation. I feel a strange sensation. Sacrifice you to face to face, living by mistake, and I'm turning with all my rules. That's right.
Well, hello, Chris Q. How are you?
How you doing, Will?
I'm doing much better now speaking with you, my friend, fellow
Yes,
Upper West
sir.
Sider, even though I'm technically Hell's Kitchen, but God bless America. Chris
God bless
Q,
America.
you are a supernatural hard rocker. You've been through, some bands, but I love the fact that it was during the pandemic, you decided to go out on your own and step into your own power. Talk to me a little bit about what went behind that decision for you, besides it being a pandemic.
Let me tell you something. After being in a rock band called Hi-Fi Radio that we toured, all over the East Coast, put out an album in 2017, was playing a lot of shows, and all of a sudden for that to stop immediately in February of 2020, pretty much. I had just moved to New York, just moved to the Upper West Side, to my little quaint rockin' studio apartment that you see right here. And behind me, I have some of my bass and
I love it. You were a walking mogul with that branding behind you.
Right. That's my Kramer V, baby, 1982.
Yes.
With Seymour Duncan's and a Floyd Rose trend. But let me, I'll tell you what, being in here with all this equipment, I moved everything in. This is not a big apartment, but I did come prepared with my iMac and all my tools, some retro analog equipment. I said to myself, I'm going to be homebound and, working from home from my career at work. I'm going to put together a damn solo record. And you know what? It took me probably the entire pandemic to put this together, a 7-track album. And I put my blood, sweat, and tears into it, 8 hours a day. Only thing I would do, I'd go out for runs in Central Park and put it back on my cans, run through the park, do a 5K or something, just to hear every little nuance of the record, every little note to make sure it was good, and then go revise and lay it down. Finally came out. It came out on April 30th, 2021, after starting in February.
Chris, it's so amazing. And also, I've been speaking with artists, over 400 of these interviews around the world, from Japan to China to Singapore to Los Angeles to Boston to Brooklyn to now the Upper West Side. Chris, what I love so much about what you've been able to do is that you've not only investigated what truly drives you right now as an artist and just effing doing the thing, but I also love that you literally took this moment and said, you know what? Let me risk it all. Let me do everything I can in my small apartment in the Upper West Side with the tools at your fingertips and just doing the thing and not waiting for anyone to give you permission.
That's it. A lot of people that I've spoken with, I played in the music circuits with, they were sitting on their behinds for that whole period of time of, well, we can't gig, band can't get together, we have to socially distance, we can't practice. So that was more motivation to me, saying to myself, you know what? Sometimes you have to rely on yourself, rely on your own abilities, and rely on your own talent, because I mixed, engineered, I did the whole thing. I mastered it myself, but I learned all these techniques, YouTube videos, reading various publications, instructions on how to do this, how to do that, relying on myself to complete the product end to end. And now I'm in the implementation phase, doing the marketing and starting to play shows again. So all that work that I did is now paying off.
And not only paying off, Chris, I mean, as we look forward, hopefully to a more, non-pandemic-y world. Great English by me. You're welcome.
Oh,
But
sure.
but you know, you have all these tools in your arsenal right now, like that you will carry forever. Like you can literally, an artist I've spoken with, all languages, all creeds, all language, they are saying, I don't have to wait for anyone anymore.
That's it. You do have the, and it's so easy now. This is not like it would be 20 years ago or even 15 years ago when I would have had to have sought out a recording studio or at least somebody that had the equipment to make it happen. I'm able to record a full length album in my own tiny Upper West Side
But
apartment.
forget the size. New York is New York is New York. I mean, like, you know, whether it's $1 billion or $100, it's like, it's all the same because we're all walking through stinky, you know, subway ridden, you know,
Yes, we are.
rat infested beauty. But Chris, I want to know for you though, in looking ahead, what you're most optimistic about, because you told me off camera that you've already played some live gigs and the audience just got a little sneak peek of you playing at the Delancey, world renowned the Delancey. What you're most looking forward to about, you know, performing live more and more?
I love to perform live. And with playing your own music live and getting an audience response to that is probably one of the greatest feelings in the world. And coming from a guy that I cut my teeth playing cover bands in the circuit when I was in, you know, in my early 20s. And yeah, it feels great to rip that Live Not a Prayer solo up there and everybody who's drunk in the bar at 2 a.m. goes nuts for it. I've been there, I've gotten that feeling. Okay, now I want that feeling when I play my own solos. So playing my music out live, more gigs, you know, spreading it around, you know, doing the stuff in the city, but getting out there to the different states. The sky's the limit. And it's what I look forward to the most is I have a lot more material in me. So coming out that second record, that sophomore release, even more momentum, building a set list to play 10, 15 songs a night. That's what I look forward to.
Well, Chris Q, what I also love so much about what you've been able to do during this time, it feels like you as an individual artist were, it was like a ticking time bomb, but it was just all about timing when it was meant to release, that, you know, you did what you had to do to get to the point where you were like, it's time to go out on my own 2 feet and to step into my power as Chris Q. You have such an amazing, you know, like we were talking about off camera, it's a supernatural hard rock. It's got some mysticism. It's an original sound, but for me, not to brand you, but it's the director in me. Chris Q for me is an experience.
I like that. I would love to incorporate more of, I'm a big guy that loves like, you know, the aura of like a Led Zeppelin, that mystique.
It's a soundscape. It's like the minute people
Yes.
walk into a Chris Q concert, that you're transporting them literally and figuratively to a different dimension.
I want it to be just like that. Seriously, with, you know, with effects, lighting, with fog. Like, you know, some say that's cheesy, but we can make it really cool these days.
You can make it elegant, because at the end of the day, Chris Q, no one can ever take away from you is the foundation, which is you and the talent, period. All of that other stuff is just effect.
Now, that's very true. And you know what? I'm not afraid to not be, I'll use this word, safe. There are bands and artists out there that are extremely talented, extremely great. But, you know, as far as their stage show and as far as the way they conduct themselves, they're safe. I'm okay not being safe by, you know, wearing a little bit of, you know, some real rock and roll stuff and having that vibe to me and, you know, doing the supernatural thing. You know, some people have turned down even playing some of my material because of like, they thought it was a little too witchy vibe. So, you know, that's okay with me. It's not for everyone.
You know what, Chris? That's on them, because you've stepped into your power unapologetically, not to put this on them, but that's their issue. Because look at, there are a lot of musicians out there, we know a lot of them, and it's okay. They can be second-rate versions of someone else, but you, Chris Q, are a perfect example. And I want to say this for all the young Chris Qs out there looking, that you are an example of what it is to be a first-rate version of yourself.
That is so true. That is so absolutely true. That's what has driven me since day one. I was 8 years old, man, dressing up with like some wig that I found in my mother's closet, and some crazy ass 70s shirt just up there like Steven Tyler, when I was a kid. So it's always been in me. And to your point, I think I've finally been able to express that in the past few years with doing originals.
Well, Chris Q, you've manifested it your whole life. And I want to let our audience know, for more on the incredible Chris Q, you can read more about him right below this video. Chris Q, I'm so grateful for your time today. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure.